Welcome to the Immortal Podcast. We're here with episode 22 because Diablo Immortal is back. So that means Nemo and I, well, we're back as well. And we're here to talk to you guys about what's going on with Diablo Immortal, the status of it. We've been talking a lot on our channels about monetization. We're going to be diving into all that stuff here today. Plus, we are inside of the game, like not recorded stuff, but like legit in the game right now that you guys are going to see soon. But Nemo, what's up, man? Thanks for coming to the show. Appreciate you coming through, man. What's up?
I'm super excited. We have like so much to talk about. I mean, this is like the first podcast back, right? Since the beta. So
Yeah.
we have just like a metric ton of information to go through, a lot of stuff. In fact, we probably could have enough info for 3 episodes. So I'd say let's just get going.
Yeah, it's quite possible. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was really the shop inside of the game, because you can now spend money inside Diablo Immortal. First time ever. Everything that you spend is going to be refunded to your Immortal account because, of course, this is a beta. So that's a thing. But you can spend. And Nemo and I have spent. We put money in the game. Videos out about putting money in the game. Breaking down what was good, what was bad. I actually have some more videos coming soon. So we're going to be looking at that stuff here today, and we're going to be in the shop while we do it, looking at some of the offers available. As you can see here, Nemo, if you're in the stream, there are quite a few packs that I've unlocked that I haven't yet purchased. So we're going to have to talk about what's worth it and what's not. But also, of course, this is the Immortal Podcast, and we're here to talk to you guys about the questions that you have and the things that you want to know about Diablo Immortal. So, Nemo, when I'm going through here, oh, and by the way, of course, we're going to talk about the Necromancer because the class is sick.
Yeah.
I'm really in love with it. So, you know what? Why don't we start there? Why don't we talk about the Necromancer first? Because get it out of the way. Tell me, Nemo, how does the Necro hold up against your favorite wizard class? What do you think about the Necromancer?
This is a tough question, man. This is a really tough one because I'll tell you, I love the Necro, right? I mean, obviously, let's just spoiler it. It's like an awesome class. It's so much fun to play. But generally speaking, even back like in D3, right? When I play D3, my favorite is, I do like the Wizard, but my favorite is actually the Witch Doctor. I really like playing with the Witch Doctor. Specifically for the amount of stuff that you can raise. It's really cool to like roll with an army, you know, versus going by yourself. Like being able to just raise a whole bunch of pets or summoners or a whole bunch of golems, crazy stuff, super fun. And then being able to kind of, I like the whole idea of being able to command them, especially in Immortal now with the golems and other things with the legendaries that affect some of the necro skills. You're able to not only like have a lot of fun with them and change them, like from the 4 skeletons to 1 skeleton captain, you know, all those types of things. You're also able to direct them in specific ways, which kind of makes you like a captain in a battlefield. So it's awesome. I love the Necro playstyle. I know I can talk about it forever, but it's really awesome to have like this much flexibility that comes from like the Wizard, which is kind of playing by yourself. Which, by the way, the difference, the question that you asked me, the difference is with the Wizard. I really think. Sorry, I'm just going. I love the Necro. The difference with the Wizard is I really love. It's hard to play at first, and she gets a lot easier and strong when it gets to later. But the playstyle is completely different. With the Necro, I feel it's a little bit easier. But from the start, I could play with a whole bunch of stuff, sit back a little bit. It's a mixture between both melee and, you know, kind of range attacks. So that's awesome. But I don't know which one I like more. It's really tough. Like as a wizard, I have to say, like, I really want to play the Necro as well. I don't know who I'm definitely gonna play the Wizard, but I'm playing the Necro as well. I love the Necro. Love it.
I know. And we've talked about this. We talked about it in the video that we did together yesterday, how some of the monetization is set up right now and how class building is set, we feel a little bit pigeonholed into one class and not really being able to have the flexibility to jump between the others. So really, we're going to need to figure out what our primary class is going to be. And we're going to need to plan to stick with it for a good amount of time, because that's where our investments are going to go. And that's what we're going to get into as far as the monetization stuff goes. But I also have been really loving the Necromancer. Now, I'm only level 45 or 46 right now, so I definitely want to play until it's end game to see. But, I mean, I'm going back and forth. I love the Barbarian, but as you mentioned, this Necromancer is pretty sweet. Plus, the Whirlwind ability you have with one of your skills with the Necromancer as well. So you could actually have your, what is it? It's This one right here.
This the captain, right? You could take the skeleton captain and turn him, and he'll just like start. Yeah, what you're doing there.
Command skeletons. Yep,
Yeah.
I could use the command skeletons and do the whirlwind, which is my favorite thing from the barbarians. So yeah, tons of stuff to do there. I have yet to unlock. Looks like we have 2 more skills that I haven't yet unlocked. One I'm really looking forward to, the command golem. I really want that golem. Just more things on the battlefield. But the Necromancer class has been incredible. I'm going as far as saying it's probably my favorite class right now, but I do want to put another 20, 30 hours into it to make sure I don't get bored. Because I really love the Crusader, but then I tended to get a little bit bored with it. So I went back to the Barbarian. But Necromancer talk out of the way, we need to talk about the shop, Nemo. We need to talk about this game having pay-to-win elements that we don't love, and more than that, like, I'm cool with games being pay-to-win, right? As long as free-to-play players can enjoy the game for the majority of it as well, I'm cool with that. What I didn't love, though, was we got Soul Collector coming through with a donation right over here on YouTube. Let's get some hype in the chat. Thank you so much for the support. And thank you, everyone, for the support over the past 2 freaking years that we've been covering this game. Now we finally are actually getting it out here, and we can enjoy it. So at least in the beta, hopefully a lot of you guys are able to get in on it as well. But I want to see something put in place so that when I spend $3 grand on my Necromancer, and then a new class comes out that I want to try, I'm able to take all that progression, all of those upgraded gems and all of that, and move it to another account, sacrificing the account that I'm leaving, but being able to take the progression and put it somewhere else. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a thing or not. I think that it would really close people in. Like, if you choose, Nemo, you choose your wizard, you spend a couple of $1,000 over 2 years on it, you're not going to play the new classes that come out because you're not going to re-spend that money. So I think a system needs to be put in place, and you could talk about if you think it's going to. Have you heard anything? What are your thoughts? And then I want to go into, what the shop is all about, really.
Sure. So with the whole, what you said is actually spot on. And the big picture of this is it's going to not promote me into playing with other characters. And that's kind of a lot of fun in Diablo, right? Like, a lot of the time, and a lot of people will agree with me, the fun in it is playing with multiple different classes and being able to choose and have different ones. That's like a lot of the fun in Diablo. I can't choose between a wizard and a necro. I really can't. It was just too awesome. And what happens when they come out with a new one, right? And the whole idea of luck now and gems being able to roll really high. Like, if I get a lot of good gear, I invest a lot of time or money or whatever into it, I'm just not gonna be able to leave it. So it's very important in my idea because it closes you in and doesn't promote you playing more Diablo Immortal. It just actually boxes you into one class. Now, one thing is, again, I spoke about this in other videos, they very much do listen to what you guys are saying and what the community is saying and what we're saying. They've proven that before, right? They've made a lot of different changes in beta. So it doesn't mean this isn't going to change. Like, this is beta, so let's voice our opinions. I don't think that would be a difficult thing to do. Whether it's for like an X amount of money or however it is. I know in other Blizzard games you're able to do that. So I think that's something that they're going to be able to fix. Because it's really important, I feel like, especially like just for myself, like I definitely want to play the Necro, but I'm going to start with the Wizard. It's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. And Nemo and I have had this discussion in the past. So if I spend, let's not even say thousands of dollars, because for a lot of people that's just insanity. Let's say like $300-400 I've spent on my class over a 2-year period of time, really fell in love with the Necromancer, and that's where I spent my money. I would pay $50 to transfer everything to a new class because it's better. It's still expensive and maybe even like silly to think about it, but I would spend that money to move all of my grind over to a new character to prevent having to spend all that money again. Unless if you want to have multiple classes that are all max level. We got some people coming through with subs right here on Twitch as well. So thank you all. Aries love coming through. Appreciate that so much. So I see it as, if you want to have a barbarian, a necromancer, and a wizard all max level, well, then you need to pay for them to all get there, or pay your way towards that progress. But if you just care about having that one class, there should be a transfer option so that, when they come out with something new, that and they're going to come out with some sick stuff because they're going to want us to want to play it. They're not going to come out with a trash class. It's going to be something that's desirable. Well, we're going to have to be able to move it there somehow. Do I know if that's going to happen or what the process is going to look like? I don't know. But I really think that we should have something like that, because when you start getting all these great rewards, you know, even the battle pass, you're paying $5 a month for the battle pass. You don't want it to all be on a dead character that you're never going to use. Mind you, when you unlock something like a legendary gem, like a legendary crest, or like a rare crest, you do not get those rewards on all of your accounts. Everything else, so if you're getting the hilts, if you're getting scoria, if you're even, I don't know about the regular gems. I don't recall those. A lot of the materials that you earn from the battle pass, you will get on all of your accounts, but not the crests and not the legendary gems. So that's worth noting. You're going to have to choose which account is going to be getting those legendary gems. Now, when you think about it, a legendary gem costs $2.25. So when you're getting 4 of them essentially on the lower tier of the battle pass, I believe it was 4, that's a lot of value just being handed out if you're getting it on every single account. Right, Nemo? What's up, Riggs?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, pretty much. That's a good point. Plus, there's also the whole idea. Because remember, when they're doing that, they're thinking the overall big picture, right? Like, there's going to be people who are going to just try to run multiple accounts to try to farm them and do something with them. So there isn't just the whole idea of gating the power of people. They're trying to prevent, like, you know, the naughty people from doing naughty things as well. That's like their main gate here. That's like the main purpose of them doing this. So just keep that in mind.
I don't like
there's
it,
a question that came in.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Let me just say my 2 cents here. I don't like that. I feel like if you buy the battle pass for 6 months, you know, you end up spending $30. If you get legendary gems across all your accounts, the 4 or 5 legendary gems that you earn from that, you're not gaining a massive advantage. You know, I feel like it's a little bit stingy to not allow everything from the battle pass to be used on all the accounts. Plus, it would then entice people to build up and to even spend on multiple accounts. So in my opinion, it would be beneficial for them monetarily, because you know, when you finish this dungeon and get the 99 cents pack available, and that dungeon you get a $1.99 pack available, the deals are so good, I would buy those on all my accounts. So even, you know, I would like to see everything on the battle pass available. I don't think it offers a crazy amount of, you know, power, value excessively.
That's a good point. And, you know, on top of that too, you can't really transfer them in any way, right? You can't really sell them on the market. I mean, you can't even get rid of them to your own other character. There is no shared stash at the moment, right? So technically speaking, in this system, you wouldn't be able to really transfer them anyway. So I really don't. That's a good point, Echo. Actually, I didn't think of that.
Unless if the system is switched up, because again, this is the beta. This is a testing round, and so much has changed in this beta to the alpha. By the way, Nemo, I was playing this morning and I had 16 bounty boards available. 16.
You did?
Yeah. Remember, the other day I had 12, you had 8. The following day I had 8, you had 8, and then today I had 12, right after going through the Immortal testing round. I actually got that recorded in my Let's Play, which you guys can probably watch tomorrow. Crazy though. Weird. I don't get it.
They fluctuate for you?
Mm-hmm. Those are 3 different amounts of bounty boards I've seen in 3 days.
And okay, can somebody sound off in the chat too? Let us know if that's happening to you. Because to me, I have 8 bounties per day. In fact, remember that was the whole thing, right? Some people were complaining in the alpha that it's just too long to do the bounties because there was too many. So they reduced them, and now they actually have them concentrated to one specific zone. Yeah. So like a set of bounties, when you pick up 4, we'll just go into one zone and you'll do that.
Why don't we check right now? While you bring up that question, I'm going to head on over to the bounty board. And as earlier this morning, there were 16 available. Let's see if that's still the case. What was the question that you grabbed from the chat?
Well, so the question way back was, that's interesting. A lot of people are asking about sets. And what do we feel about that? Do we like that? What about the new gear, right? So I figure before we get into the whole monetization, all that, maybe we should actually talk about that as well. Yeah. I think that's, and I can maybe take that first. I think that's actually really exciting. That's one of the first things that most of the content creators mentioned when we were given a chance to speak to Blizzard. The first question was like, well, actually, some of the questions were about classes, but really it was like, are the set items coming? and they weren't, right. So which kind of, I guess it made sense, because the legendary pieces and the way they changed some of the attributes of your specials and etc. Like when I first saw it, I thought about it, I was like, oh, that's a miss. I wish set items were coming, because it's kind of cool, right? If you're able to, what I love about a set item is that you have an ability to go from 6 to 3 pieces, and that gives you different, different positives that you can add, and that gives you a lot of different builds and sets that you can do. So when they didn't bring that to the game, I was like, But of course, when I saw the legendaries, that made a lot of sense, because those change things. But now sets are coming to secondary pieces of gear, which just adds even more flexibility. I absolutely love that. I cannot wait to get a whole bunch of different sets. The wizard's
Yeah.
gonna be, I can't. Gonna be awesome.
I love it too, but I'm at the bounty board, Nemo, and check this out.
Oh,
16 available bounties right now. I just went to my single cam so that your camera is not in the way, but 16 available. That should fade over right now on YouTube. Check that out.
So I've never seen that.
Weird.
Before in my play.
I know, but
am I the only one?
I don't know. We got to have people sound off, because
Some people are sounding off. Somebody said I had 16, then down to 8 for 2 days, then up to 16 again.
Yeah, but yesterday I completed all my bounties. It's not like I had leftovers. I completed them, and now there's 12. But I just thought it was unique. I thought it was weird, so I figured I'd bring it to everyone's attention right here. We got Illist in the house as well. Also MFPF, another creator for Diablo Immortal. And, well, for those that don't know, Nemo, of course, is a Diablo Immortal creator over on the Scrappy Academy YouTube channel. If you ever want to hang out with him, go on over there. Sorry I didn't say that a little bit earlier, Nemo. But I like the set items too, because, when we're going over here, it's going to be everything in this column. It's going to be all the secondary gear, and I love it. It doesn't mess around with your legendaries, with your legendary gems. That system is all intact. But this system over here for the secondary gear, which was, I guess, maybe you could say a little underwhelming prior to this, now there's some excitement that goes along with the secondary stuff. You're going to be able to get sets. It's going to give you a little bit of boost here and there. More excitement. Like, have you ever been excited to find a secondary item before this? I don't think I ever have.
No.
But
no.
now there's set items, and that's going to be just a little bit cooler. It's going to be great. I'm happy about that. But let's get back to monetization, Nemo. And I want to dig in, because Nemo and I talked about this in our video that we both put out yesterday. He put out one of his own on his channel, a deep dive into it, and then him and I kind of had a discussion ourselves on my channel. And you have multiple ways you can spend. You could be a free-to-play spender. You could be a spender that just purchases things like these, like the packs and the deals, which are all great value, by the way. What you get inside of these, in my opinion, they're worth buying. For $5, you get all this great stuff, and it's a one-time deal, one-time available per class that you create, of course. And yeah, I like that. Also, the Battle Pass. Battle Pass is great in the majority of mobile games. The Battle Pass is amazing value for what you're actually getting. So for me, they have my $5 a month with that. And even the Boon of Plenty, which is going to be giving you a rare crest every single day, and it's going to be giving you 300 Eternal Orbs. Now, if we go look at Eternal Orbs, 300 of them or 315 of them is $5. So you're getting 300 of them and about 30 rare crests. And mind you, the Boon of Plenty may not be like exciting. Every day you log in, you get a rare crest, because it's just a rare crest. But it does give you the ability and the chance of unlocking a legendary gem. So really, when you're looking at it, which a legendary gem has a $2.25 value. So even if in the month you only unlock one legendary gem from it, I think you've gotten some good value. Nemo kind of brought that to my attention, that this may be one of the better deals inside of the game as far as when we're going towards legendary gems.
Yeah, well, it gives you a chance for a legendary gem, and that is the biggest commodity in the game. If you take a look at that, like you said, 225, or at best, actually 222 if you get the $100 pack. You're able to get 20% off when you get a $100 pack, which allows you to buy more gems. And when you break it down, the cheapest price for a legendary crest so far in this monetization is $2.22. So that equals to $2.22 a legendary gem. And if you have a chance for one with a rare crest for $5, you have 30 chances. So, I mean, obviously it all depends on statistics and how much of a chance you have. But maybe if you take a horseshoe, you sleep on it, you do a little dance in the morning, maybe you get a couple of legendary gems from those rare crests. And that definitely has a lot of value.
Well,
yeah. Mhm.
I do love dancing every morning. Now, one thing that I think kind of stinks here is when you come over here to your Elder Rifts, right? You could put in legendary crests, right? And then you could put in up to 7 more legendary crests for a total of 10 legendary gems you will earn from your Elder Rift, right? But now let's go ahead here. Let's remove these and let's put in the rares. Boom, boom, boom. You can't put 10 in. You can only do 3. So they're making you work for those ones. They're not going to let you drop 10 at a time and then, your whole month's worth is done in 3 Elder Rifts. It's going to take you 10 Elder Rifts now to go through all 30 of them, which is fine because we should be playing the game to enjoy the game, but it's not the same as the legendaries, which you could legit go through a ton. And mind you, legendary crests, if we come on over here and we go back to the shop, they are not cheap. It's 1,600 eternal orbs for 10 of them. Now, 10 of them will get you 10 legendary gems, which essentially means that is going to be $25 for you to get 10 legendary gems, which you can gain running 1 Elder Rift. Now, for me, I did put out a video, and I ran 2 Elder Rifts with 10 legendary gems in each for a $50 value. And the best gem that I got was a 2-star gem. I did get maybe 3 or 4 2-star gems, but I did not get a 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star gem. And that's with a $50 investment. In my opinion, that's pretty hefty to run 2 Elder Rifts. I don't know if odds change based on how many crests you put in there at one time. I doubt it. But Nemo, you did 70. I did 20 gems. You got 70. How did your gem outcomes look? How did it look for you?
So I'm actually keeping a running count. I have a spreadsheet. This is how crazy it is. I really want to know, right? We don't actually have numbers, but I tell you right now, from playing alpha and etc., the 5-star, the high level gems, they're very rare. They don't just drop like everything else. Most of the time, I've noticed I've gotten the 1-star gem, like Mocking Laughters and a bunch of others. Now, so far, I actually have it right here. I've ran 112 crests, legendary crests in Elder Rifts, and I've gotten 3 5-star gems out of them. So out of 112, 3 hit me with a 5-star.
And how much money does it cost for you to run that?
So if you were to actually, well, I mean, there you get. So I'm counting as far as how many you could get, right? Because as a free-to-play player, you do get a bunch on the battle pass.
Mm-hmm.
You also have one thing I'm counting too. I did not mention this in the video. You also get some from doing some daily quests. I believe you get platinum. So when you get platinum, you can combine that and also probably craft yourself a legendary gem, one legendary gem, and 1 legendary crest for completing those. Right, so in a month. So technically speaking, you could probably get like 7 or 8 legendary gems, and then you have the chance to get more. So you can count and think of it as far as like what and how, but it really is. It all depends what you would get.
It does, and you could be a free-to-play player, and you could get your free crests just from doing random things in the game, and you could get lucky and knock yourself back with a 5-star gem on your first try. Odds are slim, but it can happen. But then it comes to like upgrading them. How many gems do you need to upgrade your gem to a 5-star gem? That's where you need a lot of resources to invest to actually get them to where they need to be. But that brings me to not only the deals in the shop, because honestly, I think if you want to support the game, if you really plan to enjoy Diablo Immortal for a while, buy these treasure troves. They're great value. Buy the battle pass, buy the Boon of Plenty, spend yourself $15 a month in the game. If you want to spend nothing more, I'd say buy the battle pass. It's the best value in the game, right? In my opinion. I think the treasure troves may be better value, but the battle pass keeps on giving. It's something to work towards. The treasure troves, you get one and you got it and it's done. I like the battle pass because there's, you get emotes along the way. There's just fun stuff. There's a reason to grind. Plus, when you get to the end of it, you continuously can get more. As you can see right here, after you get past rank 40, open a gift of renown for every 180 battle points earned. So you could just keep on getting a chest as you go. I like the battle pass. I'm not going to miss out on any of the crates that come along, the treasure troves, and I'll probably keep up with the Boon of Plenty as well. But the problem that I have, Nemo, is currency. I mean, is just straight up eternal orbs. And if someone wants to get their gems and really progress to the max level, they're going to have to spend a good amount of money on eternal orbs. Because if it costs you $25 to get 10 legendary gems, essentially, how many gems do you need to upgrade a 5-star gem to max level?
It's rough. So you need 50 gem power to upgrade a 5-star gem to the next level, from level 1 or rank 1, excuse me, to rank 2. But one thing though, just to jump back for 1 second.
Yeah.
It's not just about the 5-star gems, right? You get 3-star gems that are good and essential for specific builds as well. Like so one thing is, some people are mentioning in the comments, well, you only get 3 5-star gems from 112 different crests. Yeah, but it doesn't mean the rest of the crests are like a waste. You know, that money that I've spent on the rest of them, I can just tell you, I've gotten 22 2-star gems that are actually pretty essential. And those 2-star gems are actually more gem power when you infuse them into other gems. So at the end of the day, long story short, when you take specific gems and you put them into another gem, like a 5-star gem you want to upgrade, they give you a boost, a specific gem power boost. Some gems are worth in weight a lot more than others. So all of the misses, all of the 113 other gems, 111, 12 other gems that I've gotten, they weren't a waste. I can put them in and infuse them or even use them. I've gotten a 2-star power and command gem, which is essential, in my opinion, to a lot of the different builds you need it. And I was able to upgrade it to higher levels. I think it's a rank 4 now. So it doesn't require as much. But the 5-star gems, the best ones, the coolest, right? The Ferraris and the Lambos of Diablo Immortal, those gems, they cost a lot. They're very difficult to get. And if you want to bump them up, it's 50 gem powers. So on the misses that you get, on the 1-star gems, which is what you regularly normally should assume you get from a legendary rift, that's a 1 gem boost. So you would need 50 of those for 1 rank on a 5-star gem. And there's 10 ranks.
Right. So what I'm trying to get at here, without like beating a dead horse, is you could spend a lot of money inside of the game, right? If you are that player that decides to do that, there is a lot of opportunity to spend to get your build up to this max level status. In doing that, you're going to be able to get rewarded by being the first to defeat things and be on top of leaderboards for Heliquary, for Challenge Rift rankings. I feel like those people are going to be able to have the opportunities and be there quicker if you care about that stuff. But that's not the question, because a lot of games have the ability to spend. The question that really, I think, is what needs to be addressed is not, can you spend $10,000 in Diablo Immortal? And if the answer is yes, everyone kind of craps on Blizzard and says, oh, it's so pay to win. The question is, can people that decide to not spend or to lightly spend, and by lightly spend, I'm talking like $10 a month. If you're a light spender, is the game ruined for you? And do you have no chance at winning or competing or playing to the fullest against players that are massive spenders like that? So Nemo, if you're out there and you're spending $1,000 a month on Diablo Immortal on your 1 class, and if I am a light spender and I'm spending $10 a month on my class, is you being more powerful than me, is that going to ruin my gameplay experience?
That is a very multi-sided question.
Yeah.
Look, bless you.
Thank you.
That's a very, very, very multi-sided question, because the thing here is with this type of monetization system, I think it's going to create a lot of different classes of players, right? So if you're a completely free-to-play player, well, you're going to be able to participate in the Rite of Exile and try to have a chance for immortality in this system. If you're a light spender, no. But you are going to be able to play and enjoy the game. So it's tough to answer that question. But if someone who's spending a lot of money in the game, especially when it comes to like $1,000 and etc., they're going to have a boost, not only just in legendary gems. I feel like if you're spending what you said, if you're buying the battle pass, especially with the battle pass now having Scoria and those aspirin keys, we can talk about that in a little bit if we want. that gives you a nice considerable boost. If you're free to play and you're not buying the battle pass, and it doesn't, there's like, I don't think there's a way for you. You're not going to be able to. You'll still be able to play the game and enjoy it and do your thing, but I don't think you'll be able to compete on any level, on any kind of a competitive level that requires anything like immortality, for example. It'd be impossible to get into, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. So the current status, because anything here can be changed. Again, we are in a beta, and Blizzard is very much listening to what we have to say, our thoughts, which is awesome. Like, they watched the videos, they watched our videos on monetization, and, you know, they're absorbing it and seeing for themselves, what does the community have to say? What do the testers have to say? Do they hate it? Do they love it? Do they think it's a good balance? And from the past, we know that they listen. And then they make their decisions being informed on what the community thinks, which is really all we can ask for from a developer. We also need to keep in mind that this game is extremely expensive to make because it's not just a crappy mobile game. And I love mobile games, but I'm doing the air quotes here. It's not that crappy mobile game. This is a game that is something you would expect on a PC. It has that much depth, and it's being created for people to buy for free or to play for free. You know, you go buy Diablo 4, it's going to cost you $60, $100 bucks, $150, depending on what pack you get. So, but this one you could play for free, and they have to make money somehow. So we can't shame them for putting ways to spend money in the game, nor can you in any mobile game. If you're getting it for free, they have to make money somehow to support the game, right? And that's essentially what we want. So I'm okay with them allowing people to spend crazy amounts of money as long as it doesn't kill the game for your more average players. Now, not killing the game does not mean that someone that spends $10 a month may have a really hard time achieving the #1 immortal in their server. Like, I get that that could be something that's difficult for someone that's maybe spending very small amounts of money per month, but I don't think that it kills the game. I think there is so much more. And for me personally, you know, and I've said it before, I could really care less about challenge rifts. Like, I'd rather run Elder Rifts. I don't care about the leaderboard for challenge rifts. I really don't. And I could honestly say that I think more people won't care than will. And I'd go out on a limb and say 90% of people who play Diablo Immortal, Nemo, are going to play so they can run their daily bounties, they can run through the world, explore, find a new piece of gear, they'll see that light beam popping up, they just unlocked a new legendary, and they get stoked. It makes their day. That's what Diablo Immortal is going to be to the majority of people. Then you're going to have the 10%ers that are going to be the ones that want to be the best and grind their way to the top, and that are really going to push for that. And that's, I think, and I honestly think that's being generous. It's probably going to be more like 95% of people want to play and enjoy, and even play hard and enjoy hard, but they're not going to try and be the best in the world or in the server. My thoughts.
You have a lot of thoughts. I love it. There's so much stuff. I don't know where to start. Can I just jump back really quick to the one thing that's very important to a lot of people not mentioning this, right? So it's very easy to look at Blizzard and say, well, you're just trying to make money. So if you're going to take, you know, you can just try to nickel and dime us and squeeze and blah, blah, blah. But the idea is it is really expensive to not just develop games and software in general now. Trust me, it's from personal experience. Not just develop it, but also be able to actually drive it to market and then market it once it's done and then sustain it as it continues to go. A lot of people don't understand that like a mobile game is not just a game on your cell phone, right? Especially when you want PvP, especially when you want servers that are running thousands and tens of thousands of people all at once in a lag-free, nice environment. Like that isn't just you build it and then it's cool. You just build it, Diablo Immortal is done, and they just, you know, they go sit down and cash their money and that's it. No, that's not how it works. Forget about the fact that it, you know, an average developer salary is over 100 grand. And if you just combine the thousands of people, I'm sure, that work on Diablo Immortal, developers, artists, project managers, I'll just keep going all day, sales and so on, right? Like besides that, and besides the fact that Google and Apple will probably take 30% of their cuts because it is running through the App Store, and that's what Google and Apple does. On top of that, you have to sustain the stuff. It's really important to remember that. Servers have to keep running. Things have to be up, and that type of stuff, it's not something that you just buy and keep. It's rented on monthly or yearly basis. There are data centers all over the world. If you want servers in North America and in a bunch of other places, guess what they have to do? they have to go find a data center and rent the space in there, which is really expensive, depending on how much load they have. And this is a world we're talking about, servers with tens of thousands of people coming in. It's going to be really high rent. And that will continually, they have to pay monthly and monthly to sustain a game that you enjoy. So if you want PvP, if you want all that stuff, it's not going to be same like the Diablo back in the day when you just jumped in, played in, and just played your levels by yourself. So it's really important to keep that in mind. So I just wanted to say that. So go ahead, Echo.
I appreciate it because I was just killing some dire wolves right now with my
Well,
necro.
so it's a good. I mean, it's a good thing to remember, right? There is a balance. So it isn't just like, hey, you want a game, and you want a game that's going to be there forever. Like you want updates, right? Guess what? They have to pay everybody again to do the updates, to rewrite all the code, to make sure that stuff's fixed and done, right? We want balance changes. We want all the stuff on the fly. We're like, right now, I want it, now. And guess what? And they're actually like working with it. So even though I do agree that some of the monetization systems are a little off here, not a little, I mean, they are off. There are certain systems that do make the game pay to win when you can just take power, buy it, and directly infuse it. And the idea is that, yeah, like there's how many of the people are actually going to care, but there are people that are going to care. Those hardcore grinders, those people that do the challenge rifts, which by the way, challenge rifts, one thing is if you place to the top of them, they give you rewards. So you get legendary crests and stuff if you're at the top. So do the rich get richer? I mean, it is kind of a system that gets like that. Those types of things, like I think it's important to make sure that we promote every part of the community. And if certain aspects of the game hurt certain parts of the community and promote less play than more, then I'm against it. So that's kind of why I feel like there should be a fine line between those things. Like Scoria, for example, I really don't feel like Scoria should be on the bottom pass, right? Because that gives you extra ORDR and things like that, like aspirin keys and etc. Like, but again, at the same time, I do like the treasure troves that give you like a really good boost. And the battle pass is probably the best value in the game. So it's a fine line, Echo. It's really tough to walk it. So I do have to give them credit for that. This is difficult to manage,
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have people that are going to say they only want cosmetics to be something that's purchasable inside of the game. So then the question is, well, if they only came through with some type of a cosmetic system or something that absolutely had nothing to do with what we're working on now, could the game be supported the way that we want it to be supported? And I don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you, because I don't know what sales would be. I know that Path of Exile supposedly... I was just invited to join the Shadows. We're going to cancel that for now. I know that Path of Exile is done that way, but I don't know any of their financial stuff. So honestly, I think that as a developer, it's a difficult topic to tackle and thing to figure out. Like I said earlier, I think the main thing that I want to see is progress that you make. You could transfer, just like in these kingdom builders where you're in this server, you build up your account to max level, you spend $1,000 to do it, and you're stuck in that server. There needs to be a way to get out, and your characters are the same thing. You need to be able to get your experience out of your character into a new one if you want to restart or play a different class or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. That's a. I think that definitely needs to happen, but we'll see. There's a couple of questions coming in. So somebody's saying, what if they went a subscription model? This is a lot. Like I get a lot of that, by the way, in my comments as well. A lot of people, because WoW, right, or World of Warcraft has a subscription model.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Echo? Like, I'll say my opinion, but I want to hear what you have to say, because that's one of the number one things that people are saying. It should go subscription with just cosmetics, so no power is bought. What do you think about that?
I think that they'll have a dead mobile game. People on mobile do not play mobile games, or mobile games that you have to pay for in any way are not popular. It's just not how the mobile platform works. And you want to know why I didn't play World of Warcraft in my life? Because it was a subscription model. I personally don't like them. It's not how I'd rather, back then, go buy Call of Duty and play the crap out of it for a year until they make me go buy another Call of Duty. I just never have been a fan of the subscription model. And I think that battle passes and stuff like that is it's not a mandatory subscription to play, but it's a subscription to have some type of boosted progression in the game. So it's what works on mobile. I mean, what mobile games right now have a subscription model? And what mobile games that are on that paid list of games are actually like massively successful? Very small percentage of them And most of them that are like Roblox and like Minecraft, actually Roblox I think has pay elements inside of it. You can play some stuff for free, but like Minecraft, it's successful because it's successful on other platforms. It's PC, it's console, and then you have people that don't have those that want to play, so they'll pay the subscription on mobile. But I think the game would be dead, and well, maybe not dead, but it would never see the level of success that they're looking for. You cut down the ability for people to play because there are tons of people that are free to play in the mobile space. Probably a large majority, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail right on the spot. And the bottom line is you discourage more play when it's a subscription model. The idea is we want everyone to be able to play Immortal, right? That's one of the things they want to do. So it has to be free to play. There's no way that it's because the whole idea of, just, paying for it, whether it's a subscription model or just paying the $60 for the game and playing it, that no longer works in this world. Not if you want, like I said, mobile servers with thousands of people, PvP, etc., and updates every 6 months. It's just not going to work.
You know who's going to say to use that model are old school PC gamers that were WoW players. Like those are the people that are going to say, this is how it should be, subscription based.
Yeah.
The people that are, but that's not the majority of people that play on mobile. But the problem is in our comments section, we have some diehard forever playing Blizzard game players, right? So we have people that maybe they're not mobile gamers, but they are instead Blizzard gamers. They've played these Blizzard titles over time, and they're giving suggestions, maybe not knowing how the mobile space works so well. And maybe we have some people in our comments that do know how the mobile space works and just believe that would work better. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion and own thoughts on how to make this game succeed. But me knowing the mobile space, I don't just buy a game to try it and to see if I like it. The only games that I ever buy are ones that I already know I'm going to like, and that I then finally decide, okay, I would rather spend monthly in a game that's free than buy a game for $5. It's just the mobile mentality that's come across that's kind of grown into me. How many games on mobile, Nemo, have you bought to buy the game to play it?
None.
Yeah, that's my point. And you have a YouTube channel that focuses on mobile games, and that's my point exactly. People don't do that. Most people won't. One game I did buy once, I was playing it on stream, it was Bastion. If you remember Bastion, it was like a platformer game from console, and it was on mobile. So I'm like, oh, it's free to play. Until you get past stage 1, and then you have to buy the game, which I did buy the game. It was like $8.99, and I never played it again after that stream. So it's like, those are like sneaky ways too. And monetization is tough. There's a reason why Bastion never exploded on mobile. It's because you had to pay to play the thing. The game was great, but I think free to play is the way to go. And implementing a monetization system that doesn't just screw the game over for people that decide to be free to play. And although there are some heavy monetization strategies that have been put into their shop, I don't think it kills the game for these other players.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, but it all depends how you look at it. So there are a lot of different variety of players, and I guess if you're a free-to-play player, you can play almost all of the game. But if you are trying to climb those leaderboards or be on the top, it is going to be impossible for you to not pay. And I think that a lot of the old school Diablo folks, right, the ones that are not used to the mobile space, the ones that are playing, they're used to the integrity of the leaderboards and the whole idea of Diablo never selling power, and they're not used to the mobile space. But it is a really hard line to walk, man. You can look at it from many different angles. One thing I do believe, though, there are certain things that do need to be changed in the current monetization system. This is just my own opinion. I made a whole 45-minute video talking about it. So,
right.
But yeah.
And I think it's clear, you could kind of hear in our discussion right now that Nemo and we don't 100% agree on how the monetization works. I'm focusing, he's probably giving a little bit more credit to the old school grinders that want to be part of those leaderboards. And I'm looking at it more in the way of, most people aren't going to care about that. And that's what we should focus on. And that's cool. And we could have those discussions because honestly, there is no perfect right answer. The perfect right answer is the game is completely free with no way to monetize it. and everyone can have it for free. But then Blizzard dies or the game dies, or pay $60 for the game, and then whenever there's an update, pay another $15 for that new stage or that new character. But then Diablo Immortal dies because that's not how it works on mobile. That strategy would never work. So they have to go the free-to-play route, because at the end of the day, they want more people to play the game than less people to play the game. I think that's their number one priority, is to get more eyes and hands on this game than not. So,
there's a few questions that before we just jump. There were some new folks that are in here. First, the most important thing, people are saying, can you buy gear? So no, we are talking about just legendary gems, and we're talking about like the shop, but you can buy gear. Like somebody asked, well, if I pay, can get gear past level 45? All of the gear is 100% free, and it drops only when you are playing the game. So you can't buy it, you can't transfer it, and all of that. So the gear and the grind of you getting the gear, the only way to get it is by playing the game, and it's very much random. So you just have to like play the game, get to a higher level, and then try to push yourself to higher difficulties if you want like the set pieces and all the nice stuff. But the legendaries, totally random, unless you see one of them orange mob enemies, or if you're going to one of them chests at Billifin that spawns every once in a while, then you're fighting for a legendary. But otherwise, it's random. Just keep that in mind.
Yep. So they are definitely trying to put it into place that you can't just buy your power. Look at this. I got an orange boss right here in front of me.
So that's cool. That's the legendary. If you kill him, he will drop a legendary for you.
Let's see. I'm going to try it right now.
And make sure nobody else kills him. Well, at least put a couple of hits on him first.
I don't think any. Oh, it's this Vex Primal. It's these little fly things.
Yes, kill the flies. Where's your swatter?
I don't have a swatter right now, but I'm gonna take him out right now, Nemo. Did it drop a legendary? It did drop a legendary live on stream. What?
Look at that.
Look at the timing. What? Yep. How crazy is that? You were just talking about it. Let's see right now what I actually picked up. It's a blade. I gotta go check it out. We gotta go to the identifier and see what this is now, because
it was meant to be, man. It was meant to be.
Wow. And it's purple, completely matching the branding. It's meant to be. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And looks like my skeletal mage or whatever, my bone skeletons, were still going and doing more battle. So why don't we get off of monetization now? I think that Diablo Immortal, to sum it up, has pay-to-win elements, but I don't think it's going to negatively impact all players. I think that's the best way that I could put it. Nemo, anything you want to add on that topic before we move on and kind of put that one behind us?
Just one thing. Remember, this is beta. This is not exactly how it's going to be. They were doing testing, right? So in the test, we noticed during alpha and beta, there's many different changes. So that means that there could be changes between beta and whatever the next test or the release is. They are listening, and they are definitely going to be like, they've shown us that they have made changes. So it's important for you to just sound off in Echo's videos in a nice positive way.
Yes.
Of how you feel about this. You know, make sure that you tell us what you think about this in his latest videos. Give us your opinions about it. Let us know, because we definitely want to make sure that we interact with you. We want to hear the community, and they are listening. So talk.
Yeah, positive way. And by the way, the community has been awesome. The comments that we get are, even people that don't agree with what I'm saying, really put it together and get their point across in a positive way, and I love it. So the community has been pretty incredible. I'm going to head on over to the identifier and see what this thing actually is that I just picked up, but kind of excited about it, which is why we're doing it right now on stream. What other questions have come through, maybe off topic from monetization, off topic from the Necromancer, because those are our two primary discussion topics here. What else have people been asking, Nemo, that we should probably touch on here today?
Some people are asking about the battle pass and the boon and the difference. I think we talked about that a little bit, but remember the boon is like an extra on top of the battle pass, and it gives you like the crest that Elko was talking about, and it gives you extra stash space as well, which is kind of cool. Echo, did you buy the boon?
I did. I bought one because you could stack them up to 3. I bought one Boon of Plenty. It gives you the 300 Eternal Orbs, which you can legit buy legendary crests with, and I get a rare crest every day. It's not exciting, you know? It's like every day you log in, there's a rare crest for you. Where the battle pass, you make your way down and you're getting different stuff all the time. So the Boon of Plenty is a way to like top off your monetization for the game. You know, you'll get the crest, you'll get 300 eternal orbs, which you could put towards things that you want to spend. You could buy platinum with it, you could buy crest with it that you can run. So it's up to you on how you spend it. Again, it's not crazy exciting, but it's a nice way and it's a good value way to just add a little bit more and top off your account. Now, Nemo, you did get 2 or 3 of them. Do you get 2 or 3 rare crests a day, or is that just a 3-month supply you just picked up?
No, so it basically extends the days, right? So it would be 60 days and then 90 days if you stack them. But I do have to say, the hoarder in me disagrees because you get a whole extra stash. And in fact, some people are asking here, so maybe you can show them after you finish with your legendary. If you go over to your stash, way past the Charcy over there on the right, you'll see that you have an extra stash now because of the boon. So it's an all extra tab. Some people want to see what that looks like. But to me, that is like amazing because I'm able to hoard some more legendaries and a bunch of other stuff. I know that like a lot of the times you just take the gear and just kind of blast it for the materials. But when you get to higher end game stuff, I know I need that extra stash space. I don't want to just get rid of it.
And it says it right here. We have stash 1, and then underneath it is a tab for the boon of plenty stash. So you're telling me you have 3 of those?
No. So that's one thing. I only get 1. So you only get 1. You don't actually get them stacked, which is kind of like I don't know if I like that. Like if I am paying for more, I should get 3 times the stuff. That's one thing I don't like about the boon. Like when you stack them, you just get the more orbs. You don't get anything else. So which is kind of like I don't know. That's not cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. By the way, my legendary actually. It's weaker. Actually, no, it's stronger than what I'm using right now. But it's going to make my bone spear also poison enemies for 728 damage over 3 seconds. So my primary attack, which is...
That's money.
That is pretty great, isn't it?
Oh, that's money.
And that would be instead of getting my command skeletons damage increased by 10%. I think that's... But also, attributes are less.
It's funny because I ran into the exact same dilemma. I got those exact same pieces the exact same way you did. And so I dropped that and I picked up the more damage on my primary because I like the bone spear. And any damage extra on the primary is good.
Let me make sure I'm pretty sure it's the bone spear that I'm using. I'm going to go to skills. Yeah, I am using bone spear. You know what I like to do when I get new stuff, Nemo? I like to test them out. See what they actually look like, see what it does. So we're going to equip. This is another great feature of the game, right? So now notice my primary that's equipped right here. It's a level 4. It's got a gem, although it's just a lightning core gem. It's got the gem inserted inside of it. When I hit equip, it's going to transfer the upgrades and the gem over to the new piece of equipment. And I have not lost any of that, which is really great. Now, if I look at my primary, 551, it's a level 4 and it has the legendary gem inside of there. So you're actually upgrading a weapon slot. You're not actually upgrading a specific weapon, which is great because that would really suck if you upgrade something, want to try something else, and then you have to go try something else. You would legit never want to like change what you would. Again, you would grind something and feel stuck using it. Kind of like what we're talking about when we're talking about being stuck using a class because of the amount of money that you spend on that class. So, yeah, we have a new weapon right now. We'll see how... Oh, that looks cool. Nice. All right, let me look through the chat right now. Any questions that you have while I do a little search through here?
Sure. Everybody wants to know if you're playing PUBG Mobile. What? Why does everybody want to know that? What's with PUBG?
I don't know. I have played PUBG quite a bit actually, but we do not play it anymore.
Didn't you win a tournament?
I did.
This is a sidetrack.
Yeah, it was called Player Well Known, the first ever PUBG tournament. Me, Rolex, Juicy, and I forget who the other person was. Sorry. But yeah, we won. They carried me through the whole thing, but it was 10 grand. $10,000 tournament that we won. And I made quite a few videos on my other channel, about 100 videos on PUBG Mobile, but decided not to go along the PUBG Mobile path, and I stuck with Clash of Clans. Who knows if it was the right choice or not, but yeah, PUBG, good game.
So wait, so you went out on top. You went out like a champ, right? You won the tournament and just dropped the mic and walked out?
Bam, that was it. We're out of here.
Man, that's the way to do it.
At least, yeah. I don't know.
There are some questions coming in. About the extracting the power of legendaries in the whole appearance. So there is an essence transfer vendor now
Hmm.
where you're able to take a legendary power, extract it, and store it whenever you want to put into another legendary when you find it higher. So long story short, the actual legendary power of every legendary piece can just be extracted and stashed in your essence vendor when you need it, and then you could just put it to a higher piece of gear. So there is no reason to worry about the legendary pieces effects not kind of moving along with you. And it only costs 3,000 gold to do it, which is like chump change. You
Yeah,
get that in like a day.
that's not
So.
bad. Hey, Nemo, what is this Legacy of the Horadrim?
Ooh, Legacy of the Horadrim is a new system that allows you to basically upgrade your stats. Soon, I don't know what level you are, but soon the story will take you up to the top there. Right by the Elder Rift, there's like a secret entrance that brings you into the Legacy of the Horadrim. Long story short, it's like a place where you go, you beat a bunch of dungeons, and you get these keys. Did you notice that on the Battle Pass route, on the paid route, there's these things called aspirant keys?
Yes, I
Uh,
did. Let me show
Sweet.
everyone
So
while you're
the
there, while you're talking about it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go. So these aspirin keys will allow you to open chests. And long story short, certain bosses and certain levels will drop these stones that you can go and later on put into your Legacy of the Haradrim shrine, and
Hmm.
that will boost your stats. So not to bore everybody, but you kill certain bosses and do certain achievements in the game. Like for example, when you kill LaSalle, you'll get a specific stone that you can put into your Legacy of the Haradrim. And then afterwards, you have to go and beat these dungeons, use the keys to open the chest, find more fragments that will allow you to upgrade these stones. There's multiple stones that you can slot into your Legacy of the Haradrim. There's lots of different upgrade levels, and those levels will boost your stats on top of like your Paragon. So, for example, I found one, my first one boosts my armor penetration. And it's every time I bring it up, it gives me more armor penetration. So it's basically another like high end game system sort of that allows you to boost your character stats a little more.
Another way to boost. Now, we do have a question. Andre, I believe the name is over here on Twitch. Personally, I understand that I don't care. He's talking about me about the leaderboards, which is true. I really don't. But why have leaderboards if the only ones that can win are the highest spenders? So that's actually a good question, Nemo. Now, do you think that only high spenders can win on
Yeah.
leaderboards?
So I actually happen to agree with Andre, 100% on that. Yeah. So in this case, in this scenario, the leaderboards and being the first one to get there and getting all the rewards, it's going to be from the point of view of a grinder, or of a person who takes the leaderboard and the integrity of the leaderboard very seriously. It just logically doesn't make any sense. What is the point of a leaderboard if you could just buy the stuff? And to me, or to somebody who is a grinder, I understand their point of view. If they're grinding and doing that, if they're putting in the work, to them, that's the most important thing. It's the integrity of the leaderboard. Knowing that there's no other way to get there, that means that they've done the work to get there and like almost climbing a mountain and being on top. If somebody could just take the elevator up, like it doesn't really, it almost invalidates their grind. And that's why they won't play, in my opinion.
So you're saying leaderboards are getting kind of watered down with this system, essentially. The
To, to,
integrity
to
of
the
it.
to the people that care, to the people that will actually push the top of the leaderboards. In this case, in this scenario, yeah, I can see what Andre and the rest of the grinders, that part of the community is saying. I can definitely hear them. Yeah.
Hmm. Makes sense. All right, Nemo, we're towards the end of our time. Are there any questions that were jolting out at you that you want to just quickly nail before we get on out of here for today? Because remember, when we have the Diablo Immortal build, which we're going to have, I'm anticipating for another 2 months. We're going to do a bi-weekly show, kind of compiling the community questions to start a show with you guys. And then, of course, you guys take over from there during the show. We had a lot to talk about in our minds before going in today. So maybe we got to the questions a little less than we typically do. But a lot of times, this show is completely fueled by your questions. So make sure you keep on bringing them. You could ask us on socials, Twitter, Instagram, most importantly on Discord. We both have communities inside of our Discord servers. Everything's linked down below, including Nemo stuff. Any questions that we missed that you want to just tackle really quick?
Just a few people are asking how are we enjoying the beta and how what are the differences? Like, have you noticed any differences that besides obviously the whole cash shop, right? The actual beta itself and whatever. And I'll just go start. I actually am really enjoying it.
Mhm.
There's a lot of additions to the graphics, the sounds, right? There's the voices are in a lot of the monologues. I love the whole new the dungeons when you actually play them. Like the bats come out of the countess and all that.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like I feel like a lot of those types of additions were added, and that's a lot of fun. Like I don't know, it just brought me like the extra mile. Like it feels a lot more immersive. I don't know if that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, they
And the
polished it
one
up. They polished it a bit, man. They
they,
added a lot
they
of those details that it needed, that it was missing.
they really did in so many different levels. Like I could probably make 45 videos just talking about the little touches that they've added. Like it blows my mind how much work goes into the game, and I'm really like happy that I got to experience it all the way from the beginning to
Hmm.
see the little tiny changes and all the little ads that they did. It's really like it's beautiful. It
Yeah,
really is.
I agree. I mean, there's little things here and there, just convenience things have been added to it, which is great. Drastic things would be the Necromancer class, would be the new stage, which I haven't even gotten to yet. Notice that even the rifts, the area here with the rifts looks different. The legendary crests and the rare crests, they don't look the same as they used to. They just changed how all that looks. You're right about the sounds of the game. The voice acting has been added as well. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Battlegrounds I still haven't gotten into. Looking forward to seeing what that's all about. But I think to end this show, we have to go to a question that has become a bit of a tradition from our friend Red October. And he asks, end of episode question. During a dream, you meet Deckard Cain. He offers you a red pill and a blue pill. Red pill to wake up and continue playing Diablo Immortal. Blue pill to see how deep the world of Sanctuary can go. Nemo, which one do you take?
That's easy. Well, so for many reasons. One, blue is my favorite color. Two, to hang out with Deckard for a while longer. I mean, I love DI, but I have like so many questions for him. So I would take the blue pill and hang with my boy Kane for a while longer. Yeah.
I think that's an easy one as well. You gotta go deeper into the world and see what it's all about. Last question I have for you, and it's one we kind of always touch on. When do you think the game's coming out for everyone to play, not just Canada and Australia?
That's a tough question. Well, obviously the first half of 2022, it is getting. I mean, if you take a look at the game, there's obviously like finish line touches that we have to do, but it looks pretty stable. Gonna once the cash shop is tested out. I mean, it's pretty much end game, right? So, in my opinion, I would say this is a tough one. I'd say March.
March. And my guess has been April, May. I'm thinking April, May is when we're going to see it. We're going to see this game now. Who knows? Our predictions have all been wrong. So this is literally just talking out of our butts. But no, it's going to be here November, December, January, February, March. It's going to be gone. April, May, it's going to be back in full effect. Completely also depends on how much changes they need to make, what they think they need to do to make the game complete and perfect, because they are clearly trying to make it perfect along the way. This thing could have been dropped a year ago with the closed alpha, and it would have been an amazing game that people loved. So, and it's come a long way since then. So I think we're out of here now, Nemo. I think we've touched on it all. Thank you all for coming through live. This will be available on the channel as a video. If you missed anything, we talked about quite a bit of monetization. We talked about the Necromancer class and a bunch of other stuff. So Nemo, thanks for coming through. Tell everyone where they could find you, my man.
You can find me at Scrappy Academy YouTube channel, where I'll be doing a whole bunch of videos on Diablo Immortal. And I definitely look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much for having me, Echo. This is a blast. I can't wait for the next one.
My pleasure. And we're going to be back in 2 weeks with another episode. So we will see you guys then. Take care and be good.